So here's the Australian dollar and the US dollar now on the daily, and let's go further back to the weekly. So we are here kind of between this uptrend downtrend here, going lower, which means we'll once again here go to this support line on the weekly. So here the daily is going lower here as well, currently kind of closer to getting to this levels of to this support line here on the forward chart. We saw a movement to the upside here to this resistance line here, and now we are pulling back to this zone here, and it looks like we'll break below it and then head to this zone here. So we broke this kind of uptrend, this trend line, and have been on this downtrend ever since. On the 1 hour chart, well, here looks like we will head lower, so the market will open a couple of hours. Until then, we could try to slow down here, but eventually we will break. So on the 30-minute here, trying to hold and stay at these levels. So maybe here is kind of a bit of a divergence going on, so we could see a turnaround here. So at the end of the day, the two options, so here is kind of a double bottom. So if we break here, we will go lower. If we can turn around, we will try to rally on the 1 minute chart, because at the moment here we're trying to hold this support line here. So the trades to take or to look out for are either to be a buyer here from this support line to here, or to, once we break here, to be a shorter and to target this area here. So wherever the market will break to first, this is where I would look for entries. Now on the 5-minute chart, so here is a pretty bearish candlestick, so initially it could lead to some further downward movement, but on the 1-minute chart here we are kind of forming this support line here, so we could here still try to go higher, but once we break, it looks like we will go lower. So then this would be the short to take here. So taking a look at USDCAD next. So on the daily, so we pretty much traded along this trend line to the upside, and now here reaching the bigger resistance zone on the weekly, which is this area here, and it looks like we will still go a little bit further to the upside. So on the forward chart here, trying to break the current level here, and trying to go all the way to the previous high, which looks like we will continue to go higher here before going lower. So I wouldn't want to buy at these levels. So either you look here for shorts, or you wait for a breakout and then continue and go with the trend to the upside. For now, it looks like we will head higher. At the moment, personally, for me, this is not really a trade that I would here look out for to either enter to the down nor to the upside. Once we break this area, then maybe we could continue to move the trend to the upside, because here on the daily we are having here a bullish cross between the 50 and 200 EMA. But we could as well see a movement like this and then suddenly here head lower again. So now I wouldn't buy at these levels even though the trend is bullish, so I would look here at some point for shorts. Bigger on the longer term trend, something like this. Maybe if we check the daily, probably around here, yeah, something like this. But for now I'm still patient and waiting here. So next is the US dollar and the Japanese yen. So again here trading back and forth at this, within this area here. I said that once we reach here we look for shorts, and on the 4-hour chart we reached here this resistance zone, and we had here these rejection candles. Here the first one to the downside with this long wick, and followed by the same one here, kind of a middle one, and then we pull lower. So here again it looks like we will head to this support line. So if we do the same to the upside, and then we look here for kind of buys, something like this, since it looks like we will continue for a little bit further within this area. Now on the daily, kind of here an uptrend, so we could move to the side like we did here until we get closer to the trend line. So for now I will look here again for buys and target the upside. USD Japanese yen here, the 1-hour chart, seeing a bearish cross, so we could go lower. The market will open soon. So this is the USD Japanese yen. Taking a look at the USD Swiss franc. So here again we are trading back and forth. We pull to this support zone, and here we are trading along this trend line, or kind of within this triangle. So we should see a bigger move to either the upside here or the downside. Well, preferably the downside, but at the moment, so we saw this move from the support zone to the upside, and now here if we take a look at the lower time frames, and here the 1-hour chart is kind of trading above the 200 EMA. Taking a look at the 50-minute chart, so here is a bullish cross forming to the upside, and here is kind of a triangle wedge being formed. So the trade that I would look out for here is a break out of this zone with a bullish candlestick, and this is where I would then enter my trade and target all the way up to the upside. So buy USD. If we quickly get rid of this and enter around here, quickly check the forward chart to look for my target. My target would be a little bit bigger actually. around here or even higher. So 50-minute chart. So this is the trade that I would look out for. My stop loss would actually be below the candlestick if you see one that is or that will break out. So the risk here would be roughly 5.0, maybe even higher if you really enter above this line of this wedge that is here being formed. Then it would be 7 point. Well, again, it always depends on your risk reward. Also keep in mind that there is always spread on each broker. So, but even if you just get a 1 to 2, it would be a simple and pretty well simple trade actually. So, and this is what I would look out for here for USD Swiss franc 25-minute chart. So here, so this is the trade that I would take in the next, well, once the market opens. So the next trade would be the New Zealand and the US dollar. So here taking a look at the 4-hour chart. So we pretty much came to this resistance area and went all the way down to, well, this zone that we here just broke below. Something like this. Taking a look at the weekly real quick. So here we are between this bigger and smaller, between these big resistance and support zones. So the next target would obviously be here, this area. So we will go lower. The New Zealand dollar will go lower. And here we broke this support area here with this candlestick. So from here, well, now I don't know if I would enter now, but usually the trade would look something like this, and then head all the way to the all the way to here, which would be roughly 1.10 risk reward, whatever, depends on the entry. But this would be the trade to take. Now we broke a little bit past this candlestick that I would actually enter. So around here, so maybe if we can pull back a little bit higher, I could enter again. But for now, so this would be the trade. Maybe we can see a retest, which would be nice for an entry, and then continue to go lower, which looks unlikely at the moment. But this would be the trade to take.